Hola chicos, soy señorita Schaefer y hoy vamos a hablar de la gramática de capítulo 2b y vamos a hablar de using adjectives as nouns. This is a really great skill, just to change up how you're saying things a little bit. If you want more information, la información está en página 116. Question for the day is, how do we use adjectives as nouns? So please go ahead and write that at the top of your paper. Make sure that you leave a little bit of room so that you can answer it when we're done. When you are comparing two similar things, you can avoid repetition by dropping the noun and using an article with an adjective. What's really important here is that we have both the article and the adjective. So an example that we have here, ¿Cuál prefieres? ¿La sudadera apretada o la floja? And what we're literally saying here in English is, which do you prefer? The tight sweatshirt or the loose one? So kind of, we do this in English, the red one, the loose one. They do the same thing in Spanish, they just don't have the one after it. So you just say like the loose or the tight. Let's do one more. Prefiero la floja. I prefer the loose one. Notice that even when the noun wasn't there, because we were talking about la sudadera apretada here, we're still talking about a sweatshirt, so we still need to make sure that our article and our adjective are appropriately agreeing with what we're talking about. You can also do this with expressions that use de. De means of, so for example, ¿Compraste una chaqueta de lana o una de cuero? And what you're going to see here is we're saying, did you buy a jacket of wool or one of leather? So really in English we would say, did you buy a wool jacket or a leather one? It's just depending how they clarify it in Spanish. Notice that because we're talking about una chaqueta, and that's a feminine thing, that una here needs to be feminine as well. Because lana and cuero are nouns, they're going to stay the same. They're not going to agree or not agree. Let's do one last example before we finish up for the day. ¿Prefieres el abrigo de Paco o el de Juan? Do you prefer Paco's coat or Juan's coat? The coat of Paco or the coat of Juan, or that of Juan? Because we're talking about el abrigo, and el abrigo is masculine and singular, we're going to make sure that our article here is masculine and singular. So our big question for the day was, how do we use adjectives as nouns? I know this was a super quick video. If you need to watch it again, please feel free. There are also a couple other videos on Moodle with other people teaching it if you want another go-around. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and write those down so that you can ask when you come to class or help class. But the big answer to this question is that to use an adjective as a noun, you'll already have needed to specify somewhere what you're talking about, and then you'll use the article plus the adjective, or you can use de and whatever descriptor goes with it. Remember that the article, and if it's an adjective, that they must agree with what you're talking about. So if you want to say the blue shirt or the red one, you'd say la camisa azul o la roja. And because camisa is feminine and singular, we're going to use la and roja. Gracias por escuchar y adiós.